Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. Really underestimated how much diet contributes to weight. I decided it was time to get rid of all the lockdown weight, but having been really busy the past month or two, I haven't really had the time to exercise. I thought I'll start off by fixing my diet and get exercising in summer when I've got more free time. I cut out soft drinks and alcohol. I drink water, cold infused fruit teas, and a cup of coffee in the morning. I stopped eating cereal, pancakes, and toast and butter for breakfast, and started eating fruit, yogurt, granola, and oatmeal. In dinner, I have something similar to breakfast or a brown bread sandwich. I only snack on fruit, granola bars, rice cakes, or something like that, with the occasional unhealthy treat. In tea, I haven't changed too much because they weren't too bad to begin with, but I've tried to incorporate more veg and cut out takeaways. In 7 weeks, I've already lost 8 pounds, which just shows me how unhealthily I was eating before. I'm really amazed. You can't outrun your fork. But, oh man, did I try. I swore I was the little engine that could and was going to work off those calories. Started logging my food after thinking for years that gym and running would allow me to eat what I want, and I always had a little belly because of it. And today, I'm 10 pounds down. I'm still not eating enough protein in a day, however. I can only eat so much chicken, but I really cut down on the fat and carbs. I always thought I wasn't really eating that bad because I never drank soda and always water, and I never eat too often. The problem was my quantity and quality. I would eat so much my servings and choose the worst food ever, so I started counting my calories and realized how bad it was. Now, after weeks of cravings and fails, I finally feel like I have this weight loss thing under control. I've lost 21 pounds since October, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I wasn't really obese to begin with. For me, it's the opposite. I've been really focusing on exercising, more so for my mental health, and it's definitely helping in that respect. But I'm a 4'11" woman, and eating at a deficit is so freaking hard when your total daily energy expenditure is already tiny. I've lost only 10 pounds in 4 months, but my body is changing and I'm getting stronger, and the exercise is good for me and is helping me stick to things long term. Whereas if I just focus on my diet, I would give up too quick. Anything that works, works. The gym is for gains, the kitchen is for losses. When you exercise more, you will feel hungrier. The tendency is to eat to compensate, which means that you maintain your calorie overdose and fail to lose weight, which demotivates you just as you are most vulnerable to relapse. Worse, quitting the workouts may not reset your appetite, and you can gain weight faster. Control the food first, get some losses in, and then slowly add exercise to lock into the lifestyle changes. You only have a couple of weeks before motivation fades, so you have to build a habit in that time to take over from the motivation, as you found out and succeeded in. Calorie counting is one thing, the packaging information is good. It's the serving size I used to gloss over. Like calories, 250, okay, not bad. Servings per container/bag, after I finish the bag or container, 3. Whoa. And that was between meals. I'm big on crunch and I'm working to get off of that. Thankfully, Fresh Markets and now BJ's has freeze-dried green beans and sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes are not ideal, but they're on the better side of starch and carb and satisfy the crunch for me with much lower calorie count. Now comes reality check. Accepting that you cannot go back to the old ways. I too faced similar hurdles and began my weight loss at the beginning of COVID. I cut out alcohol and gluten, both of my biggest temptations. I've lost over 100 pounds and am skinny for the first time in my whole life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I have no desire to eat unhealthy or drink. It's amazing how much control of your life you get back by simply controlling what you put into your body. I've been logging my food off and on for 10 years. In this round, I finally started weighing every damn thing I put into my mouth and stopped skipping weekends. The result? The weight is finally falling off. Adding exercise just seems like gravy, and I feel absolutely amazing. Too bad it took so long, but I'm happy that I'm finally here. Exercise for health, eat for weight loss. It's absolutely true. If I exercise more, I get hungrier and I inevitably eat more. But exercise is vital to being healthy, whatever your weight. You can lose all the excess weight and still be terribly unhealthy. At my age, exercise lets me have a bit more variety in my diet. My BMR is pretty low, so in that way, it does contribute to keeping weight off, but I know it doesn't work for actual weight loss. I just always eat enough to at least counteract the benefit. I had a similar realization a few days ago. I'm currently in a plateau for the last 2 kilograms I would like to lose, so it was not triggered by weight loss. It was some comment here about one person's binge day, which was 3,000 plus calories. And I realized, wow, now when I consider a day a binge day, it is never more than 2,500 calories on that day. It could be a lot more before, but changing the way I eat also reduced what I eat on the days I thought that I lose control, which I apparently don't lose as much as I thought I did. I had the same realization lately. I've generally been big on the calories out side of calories in, calories out, usually running or cycling a lot or heavy lifting, and not being so concerned with my diet, beyond generally trying to be healthy most of the time, and nothing changed. Weight, body fat percentage, appearance, whatever. I started counting calories seriously in May and sticking to a somewhat arbitrary number, and lo and behold, even without nearly as much exercise, I've lost almost 5 kilograms since then, which is more than I've lost in the previous several years combined, despite thousands of miles run and biked. Just a caveat, make sure that your bread is 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain. Honey wheat and split top wheat are white flour breads with food coloring or molasses to make it look brown. It's a marketing scam. Multi-grain bread might be whole grain, but multi-grain really just means that there is more than one grain in the bread, so technically it can be 99% white flour, 100% oatmeal, and still be called multi-grain. So true. I've been in the gym for over 5 months and I lost no weight, but I did feel better and I lifted more. I started going to a nutritionist and immediately dropped around 10 pounds in a little over a month and a half. A girl came up to me in the gym to tell me that I looked good and slimmer. Diet is everything. The simplest and easiest diet is to just drink water. No soda, no juice, no wine, no milk, and no beer. I'm so addicted to soda, unfortunately, but this is so true. My sin is fruit juices. I try and cope with just a sip. I don't do the shopping, but my wife that doesn't listen. I tell her, don't buy it. She says, don't drink it. I wish it was that simple. Food is addictive, so I play mind games with myself. They sell these small cans of soda, less is more. It's an equation. Both sides are equally important. I just think that psychologically, our food consumption has a greater effect on our emotions, so we allow the math to get fuzzier. The funny part is that food is much easier to measure than physical activity, thanks to labeling laws. So it's also the easiest way to lose weight as long as you can keep physical activity pretty constant. I keep it pretty simple if I want to lose weight. Eat less and eat smarter. Lean meats, fruit and vegetables, and move more. I typically eat a vegetable omelet for breakfast and an afternoon meal of grilled chicken or fish and vegetables. The times vary, but I mainly stick to 2 meals a day and usually have a good 16 to 18 hours of fasting each day. I also try to get up and walk at least 3 miles and do some dumbbell work, sit-ups, push-ups, etc. 3 to 4 times a week. I never needed a gym or a fat diet. I started a diet about 6 to 7 weeks ago with the intention of starting and ramping up exercise. I haven't done well so far with the exercise, but I did stick to the diet, and I am down 11 pounds. Based on past weight loss experience, it could be another 5+ pounds down with exercise, but I'm still pretty content with how the diet has been working. I've settled on replacing dairy products with vegan alternatives and the keto, but overall, just lower calories. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. 2 years and still pushing.